Today I'm with the first pick. It's our annual franchise quarterback draft, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Going to draft our NFL franchise QB rosters using the snake draft. This time around, I'm with my guy Ran Carthon. Last year and the year before, it took about 45 minutes to explain to Rick what a snake draft was, so we're already a step ahead of the game. And maybe we even look back at last year's snake draft, and I'll let Ran grade how Rick and I did. I would have guessed that I won. I'm Ryan Wilson. That's former Titans GM Ran Carthon. This is episode 287, and Ran, let's see what we got here on the old clicker. 287 days. Nope, 252. I can't do the math right until the 2026 NFL Draft. This for PA. How you doing? You're back in studio in Fort Lauderdale, looking as calm and relaxed and comfortable as ever. How'd the security guard situation go this morning getting into the building?
I didn't get beat up. I made it through. I didn't get beat up. It was a quick transaction. So I'm here. I made it. And I'm here. I'm back in the studio, loving it. My wife said I wasn't appropriately dressed because she thought this was just a plain white tee. She thought I hit the Marathon gas station and just got a white tee and came into the office. So, honey, you're wrong. How about that?
Shout out to the cream color T-shirt. Shout out to Marathon gas station and their black T-shirts. And remind me again what the woman working in the security desk said to you, because I'm going to start using that line too in terms of you asked her if you guys are going to have a beef today. What'd she say?
Yeah, so I walked in and I just looked at her. I was like, oh, are we going to fight today? And she was like, oh, it depends on the energy you bring.
I love it.
So I was like, I'm the most pleasant person you know.
All right, before we get going here, Ran, and this is a little surprise for you because this is how we roll over here. Producer Striker, Ran is down in Fort Lauderdale, not to do HQ or to do this podcast. He's headed south to Key West for the Ran Carthon Classic. Tell me about that, Ran. That's tomorrow. That's Saturdays. We're sitting here August 15th down in Tommy Roberts Stadium. Is that where you played high school back in the day in Tommy Roberts Stadium?
Yes, Key West, my high school, Key West High School, playing Homestead for the preseason kickoff classic. It was something that gave me the honor of naming the classic after me last year. Obviously, I was with the Titans. We were in preseason, so I couldn't go. Now I'm a free agent, and so I'm available to, go back home. But it's a great honor. I'm so excited to get back home, be around the kids, and it's just, one of the top honors I've ever received. It's special when it comes from your hometown, and to go back and see these kids playing in Tommy Roberts Memorial Stadium, which they've remodeled since I played. So I'm excited to get down there and see everybody.
Congratulations. That's a fantastic honor. And like your predecessor in the podcast, no one knows anything about you, even though you guys are doing great things. So you snuck it out when we were talking the other day. And then Debo mentioned that it was a big deal. And then Striker's like, we have to talk about this on the podcast. And I think they're exactly right. So just to recount again, how important what the first pick is. You got a classic named after your old high school. Rick got inducted to his high school Hall of Fame. I'm telling you, if you're a free agent, and when Rand goes back to the NFL, even though he says he's not, there's a place for you here if you're a decent person. It's all about the energy you bring, Rand. So congratulations on that. Are you going to do the coin flip or something?
I'm doing something. I don't know what exactly they're going to have me do. I just know I'm trying to avoid having to go to the school and do the pep rally this afternoon. So
I heard rumors of that too. This is about you. Why wouldn't you want to go do the pep rally?
Nah,
we need video of it.
I want, because honestly, it's about the kids. I'm just being there just because my name is on it, but I just want to make sure these kids have the format. Because honestly, it's Key West, man. It's not a lot of kids that come out of there. Kids get overlooked that deserve opportunity. So want to make it as much about the kids as possible.
Yeah, but you're an example of someone who made it out of Key West, at a small town. So I think it is more than about the kids, since your name is literally on the poster. But we can talk about it later. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. That's going to be fun. And I'm glad you get a chance to go down there. All right, let's do this franchise quarterback draft. The rules are pretty simple. Ran gets the first overall pick. And Ran, if you want to trade that pick to me so you can have the picks 2 and 3, you can do that. But I'll leave it up to you. First pick is a single pick, and then a snake draft. After that, we'll do 10 rounds. And then we'll, at the end, talk about why my draft is better than yours. What do you think about that?
Whatever energy you bring, I will match.
That's going to be the new motto of this podcast. All right, Rand. So, I mean, look, this is the deal. Any quarterback that is currently active in the NFL, you can draft them anywhere you want. We're trying to build the best roster of quarterbacks, and, your vision may be different than mine. So those are the only rules. So you are now on the clock, sir. And here's what I'll start with this. This doesn't feel necessarily like a layup like it may have 3 or 4 years ago. Because is Patrick Mahomes number one? Is it Josh Allen, who won the MVP? Is it Lamar Jackson? So that's just the only thing I would start off with. And I don't know if you have any thoughts in terms of where your mind went when deciding who to take first overall.
Well, I'm looking at all encompassing. If you're looking at, you want a real franchise quarterback, and I say real franchise quarterback because I truly believe God only made so many of these people. And you put their whole resume and what you think of when you think about a franchise quarterback, and that's someone who's won championships and get you into championship mode and helps you overcome mistakes. And it's also a little bit of strategy involved to give myself other picks later. So with the first overall pick, the St. Louis Rams select Patrick Mahomes, quarterback, Texas Tech.
How much contemplation did you do about that pick, or not very much?
None. I'm not texting. I just want the world to know I'm not texting. I have my rankings and my draft book here. So
I thought you were calling Patrick Mahomes to let him know he got drafted. Are you sitting down, Patrick? All right. No, I get it. And look, I think I made this caveat last year. And again, it's pulling teeth of the Rick to get him to do anything hypothetical. I just said, just assume this is an average NFL team that went 8-1 last year or whatever. So they're average across the board and they're looking for a quarterback. So that's that was the only rule, but it doesn't matter who the team is. If you got Patrick Mahomes, that team is automatically a lot better. Okay. I have the next two picks, and essentially my decision comes down. It's three guys, and you're going to get the leftover guy. So I got to figure out which three guys I want. Number two is going to be Josh Allen. And now I got to figure out between two AFC North quarterbacks, whether it's going to be Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco. So I got to figure out. That's a joke. All right. You didn't even laugh. I need better energy.
I'm laughing.
Need better energy. All right. Man, I think this is tough for me. I'm going to go with Lamar. Go ahead.
I was going to say, let me cut you off, and I'm going to use the words of a wise man.
Yeah, what you got?
Don't overthink it.
A man. I don't know how wise he was. I'm going to take Lamar, and it's half a dozen to one. It's just flipping a coin. So I'll take Lamar as my number two pick. And unless something crazy happens, I think that leaves Joe Burrow for you, one of your next two picks anyway. Before you make those picks, though, what your rankings have been for my picks here, 1 and 2?
So I had, because I'm erasing. Hold on, let me go click back.
Oh, you're
back.
Updating your draft board.
So no, I'm going back because I was erasing them as you picked them.
Oh, gotcha.
I had Lamar number 2 and Josh Allen 4 on my rank.
Oh, so you get your number 3 guy here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you must have Joe Burrow, and I want to see who's next. Because next is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, so I'm taking Joe Burrow with the next pick, and this may surprise some, may not. I'm going Jalen Hurts after him.
Okay, boy, where's Debo when you need him? Debo just threw a little party in the break room because he is the biggest Jalen Hurts stan, maybe in the office. I could be wrong, Striker. All right, Jalen Hurts. That is ooh, that's saucy. That's saucy. Okay, I might. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Ooh, Jaden Daniels, and then I'm gonna go. Yeah. And look, we'll just assume we don't know what the future is going to be. We'll assume they're going to be like they have been in the past. And I say that in regards to injuries and all the other stuff we talk about. And I mentioned that because I'm now debating between someone who has been struggling to stay healthy in recent months. And gosh, I'll tell you what I'm contemplating here. So I have Jaden Daniels, and I'm contemplating Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, Jordan Love. And this may blow up my face because Ben Johnson's gone. I think I'm going to go with Jared Goff.
You know what's actually pretty funny?
What?
My rankings for these first couple.
What do you got?
Mahomes, Jackson, Burrow, Allen, Hurts, Daniels, Goff.
That's why we host the podcast. All right, that makes me feel a little better at least. Any concern? Because Jared's a grizzled veteran now, and you were certainly in St. Louis and Los Angeles when you guys brought in Jared. Any concerns about him now being without Ben Johnson?
No, I think this is going to be the year where we see where Jared Goff really is, and he can quiet all haters at this point, because people will say it was McVay, And then they trade him to Detroit. Then it became Ben Johnson. And now you have a first-year coordinator in Johnny Morton. And so now you get to see where Jared Goff truly is. And so I respect the pick.
Thank you. It makes me feel a little better about it for sure.
So here's where I'm going to deviate a little from my board, and I'm factoring the injury piece into it, right? And so my next 2 picks, because I get 2 picks, I'm going to go C.J. Stroud and Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I get it, because we're at the point of the conversation now where CJ, I mean, people knock CJ. Last year, the offensive line stunk, and his first 2 years in the league, they won 10 games and won a playoff game. So it ain't like he's struggling. And they got rid of their OC after last season as well. So they've turned the page on the Bobby Sloak era, which started off strong and then sort of fizzled out. Justin Herbert is a guy who's battled injuries and then a change in coaching staffs and inconsistencies at times. You'd like to see him do more, but I get it. It's hard not to understand when you see him and you see him play and the type of person he is. But we're at the point of the conversation, it feels like, Rand, where there's some meat left on the bone in terms of expectations. Does that sound about right?
Is even as I was going through these rankings and I'm, processing and I'm going through, and you love the physical talent, of Justin Herbert, but you're like, what's the next step? And you hear everyone laud him. I've seen some of these rankings where he was a top 5 quarterback and that created arguments. It's time. It is time for him to step up and show and be what people expect him to be.
Yep. No, that's right. I could not agree more. All right. I'm going to make 1 pick, then we'll take a quick break here, and then I'll keep the train rolling. I think I'm going to go with Jordan Love. And I'll tell you why right after Stryker hits the commercial button.
You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. So even if you can't count on accurate expiration dates,
that is a rookie mistake,
or people appreciating your fashion sense,
Jim, the crowd is not on board here.
You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Glad we wear our good jerseys.
Yeah.
I love Jordan Love coming out of Utah State, and he sat on the bench for a little bit, of course. And then once he got his opportunity, we saw flashes of why they drafted him and traded up to get him. Matt LaFleur and he seemed to be on the same page. But I think when Pete was in Green Bay last week, the only talking point was Jordan's got to stay healthy. And then he injured his, I think he hurt his non-throwing hand.
Yep.
Had surgery on his thumb or something. But last year, unfortunately, had that knee injury in week 1. That hobbled him, had a groin injury later in the season, played 14 games. But if he stays healthy, he's the reason that team does what it does. 2023, they beat the brakes off of the Cowboys in the playoffs. They beat the Lions. And then they went to San Francisco, and they had a chance. Actually, I think they got their doors blown off in that game. But the first 2 playoff games were mostly about Jordan Love doing Jordan Love things. So that's why I have him here. Now my next pick is going to be an interesting one as well. And I think the name I'm going to go with, I'm taking Baker. I'm taking Baker Mayfield.
Okay. That makes sense. And it's pretty funny, again, going back and looking at this, because I have Baker and Jordan Love right there together.
Man, I'm rubbing off on you in not a good way.
So I'm going to stay. Can I get what, 2 picks?
Yes, sir.
I get 2 picks. And so in any form or fashion, again, staying true to my rankings and my board.
And by the way, Rand, sorry to interrupt you. Just to make this clear, should have made it clear off the top. But if you want to take Tyler Shuck, you can take Tyler Shuck as well, just based on expectations. We haven't seen these guys play.
No. And I get it 100%.
Okay.
But that's why I'm staying true to my rankings. And I have a reason why I would take all of these guys. And you'll kind of see a common theme to the guys that I'm taking. And so with my next 2, Stryker, you can put them however you want to put them. But just because of how I have them on my ranking, I'm going Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott.
Hey, those are fantastic picks. I think it is, before you talk about why would you take those 2 over number 1 overall pick, Trevor Lawrence? Because he was still sitting out there, and I gave him some consideration, but obviously I didn't take him.
Well, the reason being, again, if you go back and you look at my earlier picks, just to start there, Patrick Mahomes, we know multi-Super Bowl winner. Joe Burrow's been to a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts has been to 2-1-1. And then you come down and C.J. Stroud, Justin Herbert, two of the better young quarterbacks with upside, and they play for really good teams. And then you look for Brock Purdy, and you look at Purdy and Prescott, and there are two guys that people are very critical of in saying what they can't do and why they shouldn't be paid whatever they're paid. However, their team, if Dak Prescott is healthy, the Cowboys are in the playoffs.
Right.
Now, will they win a playoff game? That's another question. Purdy's led his team to a Super Bowl and to two NFC championships. No matter what you think about him, if you Mr. Irrelevant or he's not worth this and not worth that, the guy's won football games. And so that's what this league is about, having a quarterback that can win you football games. So that was my thought process with these two.
I get it, and I would take Brock and Dak over Trevor as well. As long as we're talking about the Cowboys, I'll just ask you quickly: any change in your opinion of just Jerry Jones seeking the spotlight based on his most recent comments, basically dismissing Micah in the deal?
No, it's marketing.
Right.
It's marketing. If it's a slow news day, the Cowboys have something to say, and then it's gonna create a flurry, and then now we're scrambling over here at HQ trying to find a clip and get to talk about it. But business is still being handled behind the scenes.
Right.
Steven is still working with David Mulugeta and Michael Parsons. They're working behind the scenes regardless. It's like it's what I call the 52 fake out. It's the flash to the back here, but you flip it over here and got everybody biting on this while you're running the ball over there. It's a good old 52 fake out.
And Jerry did play football at Arkansas, I believe. I think that's
yes,
right.
He did.
Yeah.
With Jimmy Johnson.
I thought it was with Jimmy Johnson. So they have a long history. So that rivalry goes back to, I don't know, the 40s or 50s, whenever they're back in school. Maybe the 60s. I'm making it to be 200 years old. But yeah, the bottom line is, don't be distracted by the distractions. Just Mike is going to get paid. The thing I keep coming back to, because I'm about to be distracted by the distractions, is you're also angering Micah unnecessarily, it feels like. But do you think Micah, once he gets $45 million a year, he will let bygones be bygones?
Listen, I live by the theory is everyone has a price.
Yeah. We can be friends again for $45 million a year. Okay, fair enough. All right, here we go. I'm back on the clock here, and I'm going to use this order intentionally. I'm going to take Drake May, and then I'm going to take Trevor Lawrence.
Drake May, Trevor Lawrence.
Do you think, or what are the chances Drake May has a better year than Trevor Lawrence? Because Trevor's with Liam Cohen now. Drake's with Josh McDaniels. Obviously, the offense is probably a little bit more explosive in Jacksonville, probably a lot more explosive.
There is a realm there because he's an accurate passer, and that's what Josh's system is going to be. And Josh can adjust his system based on the weapons that they have. I don't know that Drake May has the weapons that Trevor Lawrence has.
Right.
If that makes sense. But I think just in that offense, it's going to be interesting to see. I'll say it that way.
So let me.
I have a decent ranking on both of those guys as well.
Let me just do a quick recap of who are our best available players to keep this draft team going. So we have Kyler still out there. Bo Nix is still out there. Tua's still out there. Caleb Williams, if he gets you going, he's still out there. Geno. Matthew Stafford, who that's he's the poster guy for injuries and oldness coming together to do you wrong. So those are some of the biggest names out there. If there's some that I miss, you can. Sam Darnold, do you want to throw him in there? Those are BPA.
So when I said I was deviating from my draft board a little bit, and that was because of where I had Stafford ranked in the asterisk. Right. And I was playing in part the injury and how much time he has left. But now we're a little bit further down the line. So I'm gonna do a mixture here because I know where I want to go with my Mr. Irrelevant pick. So I'm gonna go Matthew Stafford and Bo Nix.
Okay. That's for an 8th round pick, that's not bad.
And again, the pedigree, obviously, if you're talking quote unquote arm talent, pick one. I don't know that any of them can have better arm talent than Matthew Stafford,
right?
And what he can do. But he's a Super Bowl winner. And with this Rams team, he's been consistently in the playoffs and consistently in, pushing for that NFC Championship spot. But I mean, he's an older guy who's dealing with a back, and anytime you start dealing with a back, it's pretty much over, or close to being over. Yeah. But at this point, if he's playing and he's healthy, he's going to give you a chance to win game. And I think Bo Nix is one of the young up-and-coming guys, greatly benefits from being in a Sean Payton system. If I was a young quarterback, I don't know if there was a better guy I'd want to play for. It comes with a lot, but playing for Sean Payton, we've seen what he's done with Drew Brees and some of the other quarterbacks, a young Tony Romo that he had in Dallas. And so he has a proven pedigree with these young quarterbacks. So I'm going to go young there, and then I'm going to save my Mr. Irrelevant pick for somebody I have a lot of belief in.
Even at Matthew Stafford's advanced age, late 30s, I think, he's not 40 yet. If he were as healthy as one could be at that age and no back issues, history or current, I think he slots in rounds 3 or 4 of this draft here. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. So if he's healthy, nothing's wrong. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had him at 8. I had him ranked 8.
Yeah. So that's right around round 4. So yeah, that's Jared Goff, CJ Stroud territory, and that sounds about right.
I actually had him between. I had Goff, Stafford, Stroud.
There you go. And he is, me just estimating here, he looks to be the oldest person on this list, and it may not even be close. I think that's right. Yeah. I mean, Baker, I don't even know if Baker's 30 yet. Baker's been in the league for 15 years. Yeah. So everyone else is 30 or younger. Dak may be a couple years older. And then Matthew Stafford's the elder statesman, if you will. Okay. I got 2 picks. Let's see what I'm doing here, Striker. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. So, oh, man, come on. I just consult my draft board, my computer, my draft board computer reset. Let's see what we got here. What am I thinking? So, Bo Nix is still out there.
No, he's taken.
Nix.
You might have
I'm sorry. You took Bo Nix. Yeah, thank you. That's right. Tua's still out there.
You want me to give you names?
Kyler's still out there. So
let's see: Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray, Sam Darnold, Tua, Caleb Williams, Geno, Russell Wilson, Bryce Young, Justin Fields, Colts quarterback J.J. McCarthy, Cleveland quarterback, New Orleans quarterback.
He said Colts quarterback. All right, I'll take Riley Leonard then. All right, so I'm going to take. You know what I'm going to do? And my Mr. Irrelevant is going to be better than your Mr. Irrelevant. I'm going to take, so this is going to come down to Kyler or Caleb. I'm going to go with Caleb here, Striker. Again, on the upside, I need Ben Johnson to hit on this one because it's been some rough patches last year. Not entirely Caleb's fault this year. Just whatever the reasons are, getting reoriented into Ben Johnson's offense, yada, yada, yada. We'll find out. And then finally, my Mr. Irrelevant is only Mr. Irrelevant on this big board here. In real life, he's one of my favorite players. Eugene Cyril Smith III, Geno Smith. I took your guy, didn't I?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Geno Smith. I didn't take you last year. No rookies yet. Last year we had a couple rookies go.
And so this look at you being a great pro that you are. I told you you were the Steph Curry of this thing, man. I'll be Draymond.
All about the energy.
Listen, it's the perfect segue. You said there hadn't been any rookies. I'm going to give you a rookie here, Mr. Irrelevant, a guy that I believe in a lot. Young Cameron Ward.
Cameron, that's right.
As my Mr. Irrelevant pick here. He's a guy that I think, if you notice what I did with those last couple picks, it was about the young upside guys.
Yeah.
Right. So you get the trusted veteran, the guys that are proven and that have won. And then with those last 2 picks, you take the upside guys that are up and coming that could put themselves in that threshold of the other 2. So I went Bo Nix with the 1 pick, and then my Mr. Irrelevant pick, Cameron Ward.
So Cameron Ward, first overall pick, only rookie on this list. We have 4 by my count. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Second-year quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels went the highest. He went in the 3rd round of this draft. And then we had Drake May. You took Bo Nix. And who was the other one? Is there one more? Thought there was one more. Oh, Caleb. I took Caleb as my next to Mr. Irrelevant there at the bottom. And of all those quarterbacks, Caleb went first overall, but he probably has the longest way to go in terms of proving that he is worthy, quotation marks, of being on this list. Striker, just a quick cursory glance here. Who do you think won this?
Sorry, I had to mute in the control room, so there was no echo. But I tried to tell Ryan the whole time that Rand was taking Cameron Ward. He didn't listen to me. So I'm going to
that's what you were talking about. I thought you were just pumping up
Ryan,
Cameron Ward.
I got Ran just because of the last pick.
Just because of the last pick. That was the swing vote. I won Ohio with Cam Ward.
Yeah.
I tried to tell Ryan you were going Cam Ward the whole time, and he didn't listen to me. So Rand gets the win.
I was confused by you kept yelling Cameron Ward in my ear. I'm not letting my guy Geno Smith down. All right, so these feel like a pretty evenly meshed. It's hard to, I think, mess this up. You could start having conversations at the bottom of the draft, but I mean, your last four are Dak, Stafford, Bo Nix, and Cameron Ward. Who's going to complain about that? Drake May, Trevor Lawrence,
plenty of people will complain.
Fair enough. My last four were Drake May, Trevor Lawrence, Caleb, and Geno. And again, I think it speaks to how deep the quarterbacks are. We talk all the time, and you just said it. There are only a handful of God-given franchise quarterbacks, but you can win games with guys at the bottom of this list for sure. We saw Bo Nix do it, and you talked about part of the reason why Bo Nix balled out, but also he was with Sean Payton. Caleb hasn't won yet. Trevor has had some success, not a lot of success, but Geno has won, and he's won in different places. So I think how far down the list do the franchise quarterbacks end for you? Is it rounds three, the top six guys there?
It would probably end after that Justin Herbert range. And Justin Herbert for me is teetering because franchise guys and I say he's got a lot of questions. And I think,
yeah, fair enough.
It's one of those things. And again, I critique that word franchise in terms of franchise quarterback, and maybe I critique it a little too hard. But to me, it's like a blue player is a blue player. It jumps off the tape. You don't have to question. And from the standpoint of and I'm just speaking in scouting language, it may not resonate to everybody. But if we're talking about a blue player, which is a truly elite player, that's a difference maker from day one, versus a red player, which is a good starter, reliable guy. You want him on your team. You're happy you have him. If you're debating between blue and red, then it's probably red, because there's no argument at blue. And so that's where I am with it.
Was Patrick Mahomes blue from
yes.
jump?
Well, here's the thing, and I have to say this during that draft, because I went to San Francisco after the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the 2017 draft. I was with the Rams. We had just taken Jared Goff the year before at the first overall pick. So I didn't dive into Patrick Mahomes that year. And I hate the fact that I didn't watch his college tape, because now I can't objectively go back and watch number 5 at Texas Tech and not say, oh, I see that now. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's one of those deals. Now, I did watch Deshaun Watson just because had a little bit of history with Deshaun Watson. He was our ball boy at the Falcons
really?
when I was working there. Yeah, he's from Gainesville. He's from Gainesville, Georgia, which is a town and a high school that was just north of the practice facility in Flowery Branch. And so he was one of our ball boys. So and that was the thing that most people didn't recognize. Like, he saw what it was like to prepare. Yeah. Because he was there under, a young Matt Ryan and vets that came through there. So he saw what it was like to prepare as a starting quarterback, as an NFL quarterback. So he had that. So I always just followed him from high school, college, pro. So I watched his tape. But I'm just pissed at myself that I didn't get the chance to watch Patrick Mahomes, coming out.
Well, you can ask Pete Prisco about him, because he said he knew from day one that he was going to be a star. So that's the answer to all the questions. All right, before we get out of here, Striker, let's look at last year's list. And we have Ran grade that. So this is last year. Rick had the first overall pick last year. He took Josh Allen. And I went Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow, and then Lamar Jackson. And again, I think it's a half dozen to one. I think you throw those 4 guys in a bucket, and if you get one, you're okay with it. You took Patrick Mahomes first this time. But then things get a little interesting. I took Justin Herbert and then Jared Goff next. Rick went with Jaden Daniels even before he had played. That's a home run. And then C.J. Stroud. And the rest of Rick's list, if you're listening, is Kyler Murray, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Brock Purdy, Trevor, and then Tua. The rest of my list after Jared Goff at 4 was Jordan Love, Drake May, Jalen Hurts. Look how far down he is compared to this year's list. Baker, Dak, and then Anthony Richardson. I wish Stryker had taken that part off of there. With the benefit of 12 months hindsight, which one would you take if you had to take a list today?
Man, I see the work. Rick.
He didn't say
I gotta give Rick the slight edge. I gotta give Rick. It's close. It really is close. And I don't want people in the comments saying, "Oh, you're straddling the fence." So I'm gonna make a decision, and I'm gonna go with Team Rick.
Fair enough. I get it. I want to ask you this before we eventually hit the stop button on this. 12 months from now, we have Cameron Ward on the list. Of Cameron Ward, Jackson Dart, Tyler Shuck, Dylan Gabriel, Shadur Sanders, rookies drafted in the first 5 rounds. Any of those guys you think have a chance to be on the list next year?
I think Cam, because of all the names that you've named, he's the most solidified, and so he's going to have more of an opportunity to play this year. And we'll see where Tyler Shuck comes in. He has to still prove himself and win it. Shador has to prove himself and win it. And I think as of now, we know that Jackson Dart isn't going to start the season as the starter. So Cameron Ward is the only one that we know from day one will be taking snaps under center. And if you, again, goes back to the history of Brian Callahan and what he's done to develop quarterbacks. He's got a track record. He's done it with names that we have on the list, Joe Burrow and Matthew Stafford. He's been a part of developing all those guys. And so I think this is going to be the next guy in his line of young quarterbacks that he's developed.
I didn't know about the Matthew Stafford thing. So you were with Brian in St. Louis/LA, or was he in Detroit?
No, he had Stafford in Detroit.
Gotcha. Okay. Jackson Dart, we don't know when he's going to start. I'm just looking down the list quickly. Tyler Shuck, I mentioned this yesterday in the podcast. That could be a what's that guy's name? I mentioned what's his name? The 2010 Carolina Panthers draft pick, 2nd round out of Notre Dame.
Jimmy Clausen.
It could be Jimmy Clausen, followed by Cam Newton situation there. Dylan Gabriel, Shadur Sanders, they each could start 5 games. They each could start 7 games. They each could start 2 games. So we just don't know what that looks like. But I think obviously Cameron makes the most sense based on the time he's going to play. And I think probably more, I mean, obviously the physical tools are important, but second most, if not first, is above the next stuff. He seems to be able to shake off bad plays and get back into good plays.
Yeah, and, it was funny talking about those quarterback situations. As I was going through my rankings, I mean, you had the Colts situation. So I just, instead of declaring whether it's Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones, I just put Colts quarterback. For New Orleans, I put New Orleans quarterback. For Cleveland, I just put Cleveland quarterback because those spots were, are unsettled. So, again, Cam is the one that's in position and to play and have a chance to, do things. And I know that system. I know that system very well. I know what it's going to ask him to do, and I know what it requires of the quarterback. And so he fits that bill perfectly. And then all he has to do is play within the structure of the offense, and he'll be successful.
Yep. No, I couldn't agree more. I'm excited to see what that looks like in week 2 of the preseason. And obviously once the regular season gets going. All right, that's it for us here. Let us know whose draft you like better. And by better, I mean mine, because I need a little positive reinforcement. It's all about the energy we bring, Ran. When are you headed back to Nashville?
Sunday.
Oh, that's right. Good luck this weekend of the game. If you see Ran down in Key West, give him a high five for me. Have fun at the Ran Carthon Classic. That's great. I'm happy for you for that. So you enjoy it. Don't.
You got to come down with me next year. Got to get you to Key West.
I'll hold the umbrella for you.
With me. My Farnsworth Bentley.
Yeah, back when that used to be not a terrible thing. Now I don't know what he's up to. But in the meantime, thanks to everyone who watches and listens. Thanks to Stryker for producing this bad boy, and we will see you guys next week.